And with the theme Justice or Else. And I'm extending from our conversation last week. Who's France Fanon?
Still don't know.
Who's France Fanon?
Don't know.
But I want his mic on so our listening audience can kind of hear. Who is France Fanon?
I don't know.
Joy, who's France Fanon?
I have no idea.
Wow. Okay, who's Walter Rodney?
Still don't know.
Yeah, you should laugh. Who's Walter Rodney?
I don't know.
Okay, and Joy, who's Walter Rodney?
He's an important figure in history.
Oh,
That's what I know.
That's kind of cheesy, Joy. So I do that because, there's a time growing up. Like, if I were on a radio show or in a situation last week where the spotlight on national radio was shown upon me about the fact that here are some significant people that we should know. I called you out specifically because you go to Cheney as an HBCU, and I got on you about the fact that your HBCU didn't have this as part of your educational experience. You remember that, right? Mm-hmm. So you would think, I would just think, being called out like that in public, what do you think in my generation, somebody who kind of considers themselves smart, want to not be shown up again, what do you think I would have been doing over the last week?
Studying.
Figuring out who the heck France Fanon and Walter Rodney were. That's just a natural, normal inclination. Wow. He called me out on radio last week. I'm going to make sure the next time I see this man, I'm going to know who France Fanon and Walter Rodney were. You know why I bring this up? Because I got Facebook requests. People are like, I heard y'all talking about these people last week. I didn't get a chance to write this down. Can you let me know who they were? Now, I don't expect that you have gone and read the books. By the way, what book did we talk about France Fanon writing?
Don't know.
Anybody? Going once. Going once. What book did we talk about Walter Rodney writing? Going once. Going twice.
Should have put up the video last week, man.
Sold. Right? Gone. So I didn't even ask you to have read the books. I just want to know by now, had you done any Wikipedia, Google, all this stuff, your hands are always, thumbs and fingers are always moving, texting, Googling, whatever. Y'all can post all the ratchet videos and all this kind of stuff. I've seen your Facebook page. I've seen your stuff, your Instagram. But now I come back a week later after being called out on WRD 900 AM, on www.900amwrd.com. Called out. Now, I'm doing this in a little facetious, sarcastic, humorous manner, but it goes to a bigger point. Because I believe that there are certain things that if black lives really matter, we would be doing. And I believe part of the problem is the institutions that are responsible for shaping our mentality, number one, have not been doing a great job of doing so. And number two, we're so addicted to black lives not mattering that even those of us who profess that we have something to offer to the conversation are not doing the work necessary to make a difference. I offer you this premise, people. White supremacy works hard at the maintenance of white supremacy. White supremacy is a very difficult thing to maintain. What is white supremacy? White supremacy is the effort put on by a minority of the people in the world who classify or define themselves as white to make sure that they maintain control and dominance in the world, given that they are a minority and most of the world is a majority, is people of color. That's the majority of people in the world. So in order to do that, you have to work hard. Now, I think we have a problem. I think fundamentally we don't understand that because, number one, we don't have any thinking about what it means to rule the world. We don't even think about that. We as black people don't think about what it means to rule ourselves, let alone rule the world. So our mental consideration and contemplation is not even at that level. We're not thinking about what does rulership mean of self? What does rulership mean of community? What does rulership mean of nation? What does sovereignty really mean? We don't think like that because we're used to being ruled. So therefore, we ain't got to put in the work. And then number two, the other thing that's in our brain is we actually think that white people are innately superior to us. We believe that. And because we believe that it comes natural, that white supremacy is natural, we think they just wake up and run stuff. We don't consider that there is work that goes into the maintenance of white supremacy. So therefore I offer to you all, we don't therefore appreciate the work that goes into black liberation. We think we could just get on the air and talk. We think we can just call a Million Man March on October 10th and and say justice or else, and that's going to bring us to the level of liberation that we need. We think we could just read a book or go to a workshop or a speech, and that is the work is 24/7 if you're about liberation. So my thing is, and Mike is looking at me because I think he's the only person in the room who appreciates that we got to take this to the next level. And see, I've been a little playing around and stuff. You know, I'm not playing around. I'm not going to sell myself short. But there's a standard of excellence that I expect in what I do. I hold myself. I'm my worst critic. And we as black people, we playing. We playing when our lives are at stake. When our future is at stake, we playing. We never had, we definitely no longer have time to play. So I'm saying to you all, it's time to raise the game. We don't just come in here and say stuff we don't know what we're talking about. All right. So if you're going to get the honor of speaking to people and influencing how they think, what they do and don't do, what they support and don't support, come in here with some homework done. Put some work into the effort. I'm saying that to us in this room. I'm saying that to us as black people, period. It's time to raise the game. Because our liberation, our survival, and more importantly, our power is not guaranteed. It is something that we have to work at 24/7. And we're being lazy about our future right now. If you want to join this conversation, 215-634-8065, toll free 866-361-0900. So we so busy trying to convince the world that Black Lives Matter, we need to convince ourselves. And that's why I say, as of right now, Black Lives Matter not. And until we get serious about our black lives, how can we expect others to be serious about our black lives?